Hey, Cal family. Fruit of the Spirit we're talking about this week is faithfulness. Just a quick refresher on those. It's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And honestly, when Paul's talking about faithfulness as a fruit of the Spirit, he's referring specifically to the faithfulness that we have towards God that develops in our lives as we continue to grow and love God and serve Him. But I actually want to talk to you about a little different perspective on faithfulness. I want to talk about the faithfulness that God has in our lives, the faithfulness that is really the root of the character of God. There's a few verses I want to touch base with you on. 1 John 1:9 says this: "If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness." 2 Timothy 2:13, "If we are faithless, He remains faithful, for He cannot deny Himself." That one, that just kind of needs to wreck you. The fact that we can be faithless, that we can maybe turn our back on God or sin or neglect our relationship with Jesus Christ. And yet it is so in the character of God to be faithful that He can't deny Himself being faithful to us. And lastly, Hebrews 13:8, that says, "Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore." And that's the one I really want to hone in on, that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. What does that mean for you? What that means is that when you experienced the presence of God this past school year at Drake and Chi Alpha, maybe on a Tuesday night service, maybe it was during prayer or worship or a message, maybe it was in a Bible study or one-on-one, whatever that moment was that you felt the presence of God, that same God that met you in that moment, He can meet you this summer. He can meet you in your dorm room. He can meet you as you're watching a video or listening to a worship album. That God is faithful. And you don't have to be at Drake in Chi Alpha to feel His presence, because God is faithful to make Himself known wherever you are at. And the same God that made you feel loved and accepted through the community we have in Chi Alpha, whether it was on Tuesday night and people being welcoming, whether it was a Bible study or one-on-ones, whatever way you felt the love of God and acceptance in your life, that same God is faithful to love and accept you wherever you're at right now. That same community that came around you, while we may be doing things virtual like this, while we may be not seeing each other for the rest of the summer, I guarantee you the love that is felt in this community, you can feel still throughout the summer, and you can feel when we come back to school and start next semester. God is faithful. It is in His character. It is who He is. And this same God that spoke to you, that challenged you, that encouraged you, that met you in your private time with Him or at a retreat or in a service or any avenue, that same God that met you this past year, Drake, He will meet you this summer because He is faithful. All you have to do is to pursue Him, and He will be faithful to meet you, because the character of God is faithfulness. While I know this summer sinks, while I know that it's going to be so long before we get to experience community again by being in the same room as each other, God is faithful. When you start to struggle this summer, when you feel distant from God, when you feel distant from community, I just want you to grasp the truth that the character of God is faithfulness, that you're not alone, that He hasn't abandoned you, that He still loves you, and He is right there for you.